Okay, we are going to start. Good morning, everyone. Buenos días a todos. Es un placer encontrarnos nuevamente en un ciclo sobre asuntos asiáticos y específicamente Indonesia. I'm going to speak in Spanish because we have the English interpretation. So, recordamos a quienes no nos conocen que REDAPPE es una asociación civil sin fines de lucro que está conformada por profesionales de todo el país, con el objetivo de tejer puentes. La idea de REDAPPE siempre fue generar espacios de debate y de un diálogo sincero, con criterio e innovador, así que celebramos este espacio y es un honor contar con la presencia hoy en día de honradas excelencias y de dos profesionales académicos de renombre. Entendemos que Indonesia estableció relaciones diplomáticas ya con Argentina en el año 56, o sea que este año se cumplen 65 años de nuestras relaciones diplomáticas, y en ese transcurso nuestros países han mostrado una fuerte cooperación, especialmente en apoyos mutuos, en los foros internacionales. Hubo distintas visitas presidenciales a nivel presidencial, ya desde 1959 que el primer presidente de Indonesia, Sukarno, visitó Argentina, y fue todavía una visita que recordamos aún hoy, y por parte también de los jefes de Estado argentinos que visitaron Indonesia, tanto el presidente Saúl Menem como la presidenta Cristina Fernández de Kirchner y el presidente Mauricio Macri en 2019, que ambos, todos esos presidentes mantuvieron conversaciones justamente para seguir promoviendo la relación bilateral, que es lo que estamos esperando aquí, con temas regionales y globales de interés mutuo. Por eso quisiéramos ahora escucharlos a ustedes, con el objetivo de fortalecer las relaciones entre los dos países. Les presento entonces a la embajadora Ninek, que fue nombrada embajadora de Indonesia en Argentina, Paraguay y Uruguay en 2018. La embajadora Ninek Naryatie es diplomática de carrera en Indonesia y ha trabajado también anteriormente en misiones diplomáticas para Indonesia en Washington, en Ankara, en Nueva Delhi, y tiene una licenciatura en comunicación, así que seguramente que vamos a pasar un muy grato momento escuchando sus palabras. Ambassador Ninek, if you want to speak first, you can.
Thank you, Suyay. Very nice of you. First of all, I would like just to say good morning, buenos dias, and wish you all are happy and healthy. Let me begin by greeting and thanking my dear colleague, my dear friend, Ambassador Gustavo Torres, of the Argentina Ambassador in Indonesia, and also to my colleague, Dr. Perkasa Drajat, the head of the Center for Foreign Policy Strategy for America and Europe in our ministry, and also to Ms. Florencia Rubiolo, esteemed researchers of CONICET and member of REDAPPE. Thank you for being able to share with us your thought later on in this webinar. But I would like also to express my appreciation to all the participants who joining us at the webinar today, the Strengthening Indonesia-Argentina Relation. This is a special webinar to celebrate 65 years anniversary of bilateral relation of our two countries. Although our two countries is separated by vast distance, you have to fly like 30 hours flight to get to Indonesia or from Indonesia to Argentina. But we managed to continue our long and good relationship. Through the years, mutual understanding has been strengthened, especially in global political affairs. I should recall that in the political field, Indonesia appreciates Argentina's support for our territorial integrity, and also in our various position in international issues. And like versa, we also shown our solidarity and support for Argentina, in particular its sovereignty over Malvinas Islands and its surroundings. But the world affairs now has faced a multifaceted challenges, from climate change, global economic and trade crisis, to health caused by COVID-19 pandemic. Those challenges are real and pressing. It needs huge effort and collaboration from all stakeholders. It is time to translate our political strength relationship into action. It is time to think and act together. It is time to find ways not only to tackle COVID-19 pandemic, but also to overcome the post-pandemic economic challenges. The first and foremost step is to address, I believe, our trade balance. I understand that our economic structures is complementary. We need to diversify our export to Argentina and also provide facility to enhance investment inbound and outbound. In this regard, I'm happy to inform that Indonesia is ready to further to negotiate for the establishment of comprehensive economic partnership between Indonesia and Mercosur. And also, in a small but sincere effort by the embassy here in Buenos Aires, we made a small step by establishing the Argentina-Indonesia Business Council last June. We hope that this council will serve as the driving force to strengthen Argentina-Indonesia economic trade and investment. In the field of socio-cultural, although relation between the two countries has been going very well, people-to-people contact has not been optimal and need to be improved. In this regard, in my point of view, it is time for Argentina to grant visa-free policy to Indonesian tourists, Indonesian citizens who would like to enjoy your beautiful country here. Tourism is the main sector now, the priority to open, to strengthen economic that is hit badly by COVID pandemic. So let me say clearly, there are many more that we can do together. And today, webinar shows us that from the scientists, from the think tank, you can contribute to give us valuable insight to address all the global issues that we are facing today, so that we can recover together and recover stronger. I don't like to take the floor too much because we would like to listen to all the scholars who are going to present their views in this webinar. So that to conclude, let me ask you to allow me to take this opportunity to thank also once again the REDAPPE for initiating this important event, the webinar, and also to Ambassador Torres later on for your valuable remarks, and to our speakers, Pak Ben and Miss Florencia. I would also to personally thank to you, Suyay Mathiu, for moderating this webinar. I wish you all a fruitful discussion and see you in the next webinar, because I believe this is the first and not the last. Thank you. Terima kasih. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much. We promise to maintain these ties to face global challenges together, like you present. And now we are going to present our ambassador. I'm sorry, I speak in English. And nuestro embajador argentino en Indonesia. Tenemos el agrado de presentarles entonces a Gustavo Torres, quien es nuestro embajador no solo en Indonesia, sino también en Timor Oriental. desempeñó funciones en las embajadas de Suiza, de Chile, de Estados Unidos, entre otras. Nuestro embajador de carrera de ya muchos años y reconocido, y estamos muy, muy contentos de poder escucharlo hoy a usted, así que le cedo la palabra, Gustavo, cuando quiera comenzar. Muchas gracias. Gustavo está muteado. No, todavía no. Gustavo?
Now, yes.
Yes.
Now, yes?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, let me start saying hello to Her Excellency, the Ambassador Ninek Naryatie Siswojo, a dear friend and colleague of mine. It's a pleasure to share with you this webinar. Of course, I would like also to greet and to congratulate REDAPPE for this initiative. It's a very important one, and we are really we like it very, very much. I would like to greet Dr. Perkasa Drajat, Director, Center for Foreign Policy Strategy for American and Europe of the CAMLU, Mrs. Florencia Rubiolo as well. A pleasure to meet you. She's from CONICET and member of REDAPPE. And of course, our dear Suyay Mathiu, that he will take care of all of us during this webinar. We prepared talking points just to be briefly, in order to let all the people have their place and to expose their own issues, their own subjects. So, as Suyay already told us, since former Indonesian President Sukarno visited Argentina in 1959, our bilateral relationship has strengthened and widened in an ever-growing number of areas. Argentina and Indonesia have shared views in essential topics such as maintenance of international peace and security, the Pacific solution of controversies, and the preservation of global environment. Indonesia, as Her Excellency told before, has shown continuing support of our historic sovereignty claims over Malvinas Islands, South Georgia, South Sandwich Islands, and the surrounding maritime areas. Our countries also benefit each other from growing trade. Indonesia has established itself as one of the top destinations for Argentine exports, and our country is also the third top destination for Indonesian products to Latin America, with a total bilateral trade flow surpassing $2 billion US. I would like also to highlight, regarding assistance COVID, the important cooperation related to health and assistance in consular affairs shown by Argentina and Indonesia. Both countries, we are able to make our immigration conditions more flexible and to modernize the immigration procedures. We work together with all authorities to try to provide the best possible solutions. And what is more important, both countries, Argentina and Indonesia, share the common vision that COVID vaccines should be public goods and that equal access to vaccines should be granted worldwide. Considering trade, as I already state, the trade between Argentina and Indonesia has been growing during the past years. I would like to recall that this year, Argentina was able to renew the recognition of sanitary security of fresh foods in Indonesia, and we are allowed to introduce 17 products, mainly grapes, apple, onion, garlics, and I'm reading this because the list is huge. Blueberries, cherries, grapefruit, wheat, maize, oranges, mandarin, soybean, lemon, nectarine, peach, and pears. There are also growing interest in Argentinian wines, and I would like to make a special highlight that this year, for the first time, we have the first shipment of yerba mate from Tarahui that arrived to Indonesia. As you know, in Asia, they drink a lot of infusions, and so they are going to taste our yerba mate as an infusion, and we are selling it through e-commerce. That's something very interesting. On the other hand, I would like to highlight as well one very important issue for both countries, and that is something that we were discussing and negotiating during the current year. That is the halal certification agreement, or MOU, regarding this issue. That will be very important for both countries. So, fortunately, I hope, and finger crossed for this, will be the possibility to this agreement to be signed next week, when we are going to celebrate the third business forum in ALAC, is Indonesia, Latin America, Caribbean Business Forum. So hopefully we can sign both sides this important agreement between us. Last but not least, human rights and multilateral cooperation. As you all know, Argentina has been actively involved in dialogues in different organizations, and here as well promoting gender issues and the inclusion and improvement of quality of life of LGBT, sorry for this, it's complicated, LGBTIQ community. So we are looking forward to increase our relations in this matter. So, in order to be brief, I would like to summarize this. Argentina recognized that 21st century will be explained by the growing importance of the Asia-Pacific region, not only in terms of economic growth, but also in its increasing involvement in the multilateral arena and in the solution of global matters. In this sense, Argentina considers Indonesia one of the keys of the Asia-Pacific region. And for example, is the largest economy in ASEAN, as well as its seats, or as the country that will take more people out of poverty in the next decade, only second to China and India. But also Argentina recognizes Indonesia's increasing engagement in global common concerns, such as climate change through Paris Agreement, or peace maintenance through the UN Security Council. Next year, Indonesia will be at the center of the global stage through the G20 presidency, an honor that Argentina held in 2018. Both countries, and I finish with this, both our countries are convinced that G20 is the key mechanism towards global economy and recovery and for international peace and security. And of course, we are eager to work together as we are doing for the last 65 years. Once again, thank you for your time. Thank you for inviting us and for sharing with us this important webinar. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Gustavo. I agree with you that we are very proud to know that Argentina maintains its exports to Indonesia and then renew the sanitary recognition between countries. So, sabemos que Argentina mantiene sus exportaciones con Indonesia y que se ha renovado actualmente el reconocimiento sanitario entre los países. El Ministerio de Agricultura indonesio va a mantener un régimen simplificado para las exportaciones de Argentina hasta el año 2004. Esto es lo que ha sucedido en estos meses. And the other way, we are also proud of the importance of gender and social inclusion that both countries promote, and we also think that P20 is the most conducive mechanism to work together, and well, we are pleased to listen that words. And now we are going to present Perkasa. Perkasa es el jefe director del Centro de Análisis de Política y Desarrollo de las regiones de América y de Europa. Bueno, está dentro del Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores de Indonesia ya desde el año 1990 y es funcionario de dicho ministerio en este momento, y nos complace escuchar a un profesional tan renombrado en su país. So, Perkasa, when you want to speak.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry for the time. His Excellency Gustavo Torres, Ambassador of Argentina to the Republic of Indonesia in Jakarta. Her Excellency Ninek Naryatie Siswojo, Ambassador of the Republic of Indonesia to Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay, based in Buenos Aires. Mrs. Florencia Rubiolo, Adjunct Researcher of CONICET and member of REDAPPE, REDAPPE. Ms. Suyay Mathiu, Coordinator of the Commission of China and ASEAN Affairs of REDAPPE. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, good evening in Jakarta and good morning in Argentina. First of all, allow me to express gratitude to Ibu Dubes Ninek Naryatie Siswojo and REDAPPE for inviting me to this auspicious event. It is truly an honor for me to join you tonight to commemorate the 65th anniversary of the diplomatic relation between Indonesia and Argentina. This is the right moment for our two countries to reset and explore ways and means to strengthen bilateral relations ahead through cooperation in priority areas, as well as to work together to tackle regional and global challenges. Like now, this pandemic, and of course, other issues such as growing threats to stability and peace that have worsened recently. Let me begin with a brief introduction to our agency at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Indonesia. The Foreign Policy Strategy Agency, my office, used to be called the Policy Analysis and Development Agency, or PADA. Now it is Foreign Policy Strategy Agency. I'm still getting used also to this new name. To put it simply, Foreign Policy Strategy Agency is the think tank within Indonesian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Our duties, among others, are as follows. We do research on strategic issues and work closely with stakeholders on various levels, both government and non-government and within the ministry, to get as much as possible different perspective of the research. Second, we also do joint research with university in Indonesia and abroad. We also facilitate partnership between Indonesia University and their potential partners in other countries. For example, is University of UPN in Surabaya, Indonesia, with Universidad Externado in Colombia. The third, we also team up with Indonesian and foreign think tank, as I already mentioned earlier, in joint research and publication. Let me now switch to diplomacy, our diplomacy priorities. Indonesia's foreign policy priorities rest on 4+1 formula: improving the economic diplomacy, protection diplomacy, sovereignty and nationality diplomacy, as well as Indonesia's role in the region and global. The +1 is the improvement of diplomatic infrastructure. First, strengthening economic diplomacy, including by building an enabling environment with a mutually beneficial paradigm of economic cooperation and collaboration. As the first priority, economic diplomacy is broken down into two parts, generally. First, strengthening the traditional market and the active expansion for more non-traditional markets, based on the intensive observation done by Minister of Foreign Affairs in the years 2008-2019, before the pandemic. The Latin American region, including Argentina, is classified as a prospective and potential market that has not largely been tapped by Indonesian business. That's why the relationship between Argentina and Indonesia is very important. Second, protection diplomacy is to protect Indonesian abroad, including Indonesian migrant workers. Third, sovereignty and nationality diplomacy, particularly by increasing the intensity of regional boundary negotiating, protecting sovereignty and territorial integrity, promoting soft power and its values such as pluralism, democracy, tolerance, and women's empowerment. Fourth, playing a central role in the region and global by contributing, building an ASEAN that can play a strong, adaptable role in the era of disruption and encourage a unified international worldview, especially in the capacity as the presidency of the UN Security Council 2020 until 2021. And the last one, strengthening diplomatic infrastructure through enhancing capacity and capability of our human resources, as well as bureaucratic reform for efficiency, as well as digital transformation in information and communication of technology infrastructure. But the pandemic came and we shift a little bit here and there to counter the pandemic. Yeah. The pandemic has forced the government to refocus its priority. And then Minister of Foreign Affairs of Indonesia sets 3 refocusing priorities for Indonesian diplomatic agenda. First, to strengthen the protection of Indonesian citizens from the COVID-19. Second, to support the national response to the pandemic's impact on health and socio-economic condition, including by the procuring of the vaccine. Third, to continue contributing toward peace and stability during this pandemic. Let me now talk about bilateral relation. I'm pleased, like Ambassador Ninek and Ambassador Gustavo Torres, that relation between our two countries is going very well, especially in the political field. Our two countries has a long historical relationship, and we share many common values, including democracy, multiculturalism, and open society. We also share common goals, which is global and security prosperity. As already mentioned, at multilateral level, our good relationship is manifested in the form of mutual support in candidacy for membership in international bodies and G2G cooperation through contacts between agencies of our two countries. We have learned and listened to the Ambassador Ninek on detail on this, but my point is that our political relations have been nothing but very productive. Our two countries has a bilateral consultation forum And if I'm not mistaken, we had 7 joint commission meetings. We also have high-ranking official visit up until 2019, and hopefully we'll see more to come as the world recovers from this pandemic. And of course, our participation in the G20 event, which Indonesia will take up the presidency seat next year. What about trade and investment? With regard to our economic relation, Argentina is one of the Indonesian largest trading partners in South America and Latin America. Our top 10 export to Argentina, based on our research, are footwear, 18%, rubber, 15%, man-made stable fibers, 13%, machinery, electrical machinery, you can see in the screen, vehicle, and chemical products, preparation of vegetable, fruit, nuts, and we also had man-made filaments and man-made textile material and animal or vegetable fats and oil. That's our Indonesia export to Argentina. And Argentine export to Indonesia, or Indonesian import from Argentina is, you can see here, prepare animal fodder, 51%, almost half of the import in 2020. Cereal, dairy produce, birds, eggs, natural honey, cotton, fish and crossings, mineral fuels, mineral oil, organic chemical, articles of iron or steel, pharmaceutical product, and albuminoidal substance, modified starch, loose. Interesting, very interesting products. According to the data from the Ministry of Trade of the Republic of Indonesia, the total bilateral trade between Indonesia and Argentina in 2020 reached 1.91 billion, or we have decreased because pandemic, decreased minus 5.62 compared to the previous years. In the period of 2016 to 2020, the trend of trade volume between the two countries decreased by negative 13.4%. But the trend is same with other bilateral relation of Indonesia with the world, with almost all of the world. We can see here, generally we have deficit with the Mercosur, including with Argentina. We hope that we can decrease the deficit and hopes for a more balanced trade relation. So we are going to have a lot of more efforts toward the goal in the years ahead, albeit a little bit difficult because we don't know yet when the pandemic will end. Investment, what about Argentine investment is 0.5 million, covering 8 projects, a little bit small, but there are some Argentine investment in Indonesia. We saw a slight increase from the previous years, and we hope to see the number continue to increase in the coming years. There are so many untapped potential to boost our bilateral trade and investment, but we really need to focus on each other's strength and what each other needs. This is crucial, especially as our two countries share an important mission, which is to improve relations with regional partners. In this case, Indonesia with Latin America and Argentina with Asia. I will try and go into detail, little bit detail in my next slides. But in general, we know for a fact that Argentina is excellent in livestock, very famous in livestock and agriculture, as well as in biotechnology and food industry. You can see it from the description, products we buy from Argentina. So we hope to see more investment from Argentina in those sectors. E-commerce also very important, and I think it can be further explored since two countries have strengths in the sector. Argentina has Mercado Libre, and we have Tokopedia, very famous and big e-commerce company called Tokopedia, and we also saw the merge of two biggest startup in Indonesia, Gojek and Tokopedia. Their users are growing day by day, especially during this pandemic, because all is going by digital now, including our meeting today. Yeah. The two countries can work closer to the implementation of the International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development 2021, which has been declared by the UN, as we believe that the creative economy, including digital e-commerce, will have significant contribution to global economic recovery in the post-COVID-19 era. The potential, now what is the potential? The potential of the Latin American region, whose gross domestic product has reached $4.8 trillion, and Indonesia, whose GDP has been recorded more than $1 trillion. Indonesia is now a member of 1 trillion GDP afterwards, yeah, very elite countries. Must be utilized optimally through various proactive economy diplomacy initiatives. As a country with the highest economy in Southeast Asia, and as already mentioned by ambassadors, maybe number 3 in Asia after China and India, Indonesia has the potential to take advantage of the economy in this region, Latin America and the Caribbean. And since 2019, Indonesia has put special effort to increase cooperation with the Latin America and Caribbean region, including Argentina, through the INALAC Business Forum, who was involved very productively in this. And INALAC is one of our flagship events. It is a showcase on how diplomacy should be carried out through innovation and creativity. The event succeeded in facilitating between both businesses from Indonesia and Latin America with business deal worth of 33 million in trade and 5 billion in investment commitment. In November 2020 last year, amidst COVID-19 pandemic, the peak of COVID-19 pandemic, one of the peaks, the second INALAC Business Forum was held virtually in the framework of joint economic recovery. On the occasion of the Indonesian Minister for Foreign Affairs officially launched INALAC Business Forum digital platform, what we call INA Access, to showcase export products of Indonesia and the LAC and 108 ready to offer Indonesians investment project, as well as one-on-one business meeting feature. The next INALAC, which will be held next week on the 14th and the 15th October 2021. It is the third time, and it aims to improve economic relation again during this COVID pandemic. Yeah. There is also Trade Expo Indonesia, TEA, yeah, the following week, yeah, 21st October to 4th November the 4th. And we hope that Argentine business community will also make the most of the events. Yeah. And specific to facilitating bilateral trade between Indonesia and Argentina, back in 2019, the two countries have formed a working group on trade and investment, or WGTA, as a forum to discuss various bilateral trade issues. Differences in business culture, for example, can be addressed through this forum. In short, both countries have already had great interest, as well as the institutional framework. We just have to make the best of it in order to harness the great potential for both of us. Let's start on what's happening in Asia. In the last 2 decades, not only the region is economically integrated, but also we find evidence of economic convergence. There's AFTA, when ASEAN established it in 1992, and our members of AFTA was developing economy. So in my view, AFTA managed to create trade, but it was not really successful based on our research to attract FDI. We need more advanced economy as our partner. Therefore, we established ASEAN-China Free Trade Area in 2010, then FDI start to flow in. In the case of Indonesia, China is the third largest source of FDI now, and the trend is going up. And last year, RCEP established. It is the largest trading bloc in the world, which consists of fast-growing developing economy, advanced economy, and a high degree of economic convergence. ACFTA cover 90% products to almost zero tariff on goods traded between its signatories within 20 years of the agreement coming into effect. My point is this: there is a geo-economic shift, and it's happening and still happening now in Asia, including Indonesia. This is a golden opportunity for you in Argentina and for countries in this region to make use of this opportunity. But amid the great opportunity.
Sorry, Ben, time is running out, please. Ben?
Sorry?
Yes, time is running out. If you can summarize with time, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Future, slide 13. Yeah. Slide 13. In conclusion, we have a great opportunity that we have to build economic foundation between Indonesia and Argentina. And I would like to invite REDAPPE to explore the possibility to do joint research and publication about Indonesia and Argentina. This year, we are working on this kind of partnership with McDonald Laurier Institute in Canada and CRIPS in Japan. I think it would really be beneficial for our government, business community, academic, and people in general. So we are open to further discuss this idea with you. My agency, together with one of university in East Java, Indonesia, has also established the Center for Latin American Study, and we invite also Argentine University to do the same. This is one of the avenues that can be explored to make joint research and scientific writings to enrich the reference about the relationship between Indonesia and Argentina. Thank you very much. This concludes my presentation. Thank you, and look forward to this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you, Ben. We celebrate the importance of partnership with think tanks and promise to partner with each other in the future. So now we are listening to Florencia Rubiolo. Florencia Rubiolo es doctora en Relaciones Internacionales en Argentina, investigadora adjunta en CONICET y secretaria de posgrado de la Universidad Bs.As.
¿Estabas?
¿Todo este tiempo estuve muteada?
Sí. Yes.
¿Hasta cuándo? ¿Solamente me muteé la parte que te presenté o todo?
Sí, solo la parte que después de presentarme, después de secretaria de posgrado, a partir de ahí estás muteada.
Bueno, ok, perfecto. Secretaria de posgrado de la Universidad Bs.As y actualmente docente de la Universidad Católica de Córdoba y la Universidad de UNAUAC en México, y simplemente te estaba dando la palabra para escucharte y agradecerte tu tiempo, Florencia.
Bueno, I'll start in English, but then I'll continue in Spanish, okay? I wanted to thank, first of all, the organizers from REDAPPE and especially Suyay, who's always contacting me so kindly. And I'd like to greet the Ambassador Ninek Naryatie from Indonesia, Ambassador Torres, it is a pleasure to meet you, and Dr. Perkasa Drajat from Indonesia. I'll try to keep this brief, right? And I'll try not to talk so fast in Spanish in order to facilitate the interpretation, but I'll do it in Spanish for the Argentinian audiences too. Bueno, mi intención era hacer una presentación que tuviera 3 partes. No tengo una presentación en PowerPoint, porque también me gusta ver a los participantes, principalmente. Así que, y mi idea de presentación era tratar de revisar un poco los antecedentes, que con los panelistas previos a mí ya lo hicieron, lo voy a hacer muy rápido. Ver un poco la actualidad, en términos sobre todo de eje económico-comercial y de las vinculaciones en los ámbitos bilateral y multilateral, cómo esto impacta en las relaciones diplomáticas, y terminar con una perspectiva o una proyección de las relaciones bilaterales. En términos de antecedentes, las relaciones diplomáticas se establecieron, como bien se sabe, ya hace 65 años, donde estamos conmemorando este aniversario. Sin embargo, la densidad de los vínculos bilaterales se mantuvieron muy bajas hasta aproximadamente mediados finales de los 90, podríamos decir, que de la mano de una política de mayor internacionalización de parte del gobierno bajo la presidencia de Carlos Menem en los 90, se tuvo una política de acercamiento a diferentes rincones del mundo, donde el sudeste de Asia tuvo una centralidad como eje de esta política de inserción internacional, e Indonesia recibió a la visita oficial del presidente Menem, que era uno de los primeros mandatarios, era el primer mandatario presidencial en realizar una visita oficial de esta envergadura. A partir de los 90 empiezan a dinamizarse los vínculos bilaterales y a ganar más densidad estas relaciones diplomáticas, pero muy de la mano del crecimiento y después del despegue de los vínculos económicos comerciales. Entonces, de alguna forma, las relaciones entre Argentina e Indonesia, y sobre todo la política exterior de Argentina hacia Indonesia, tuvo una lógica de seguir, acompañar unos vínculos económicos comerciales que ya habían empezado a crecer y despegar, que se consolidan sobre todo a partir del 2003, pero con más énfasis en el 2009, que es en el año en el que Indonesia se convierte en el segundo país asiático destino de las exportaciones argentinas, después solamente de China. A partir esta mayor participación como destino de nuestras exportaciones, lo que generó es un motor para la profundización de los vínculos en otras dimensiones que existían, pero que comenzaron a tomar mayor dinamismo a partir de este renovado interés que estaba anclado en los vínculos comerciales. ¿Qué características tenía y aún tiene este comercio bilateral? Que esto también ya lo trataron, sobre todo lo trató el doctor Ben antes que yo, pero basado en un patrón de comercio netamente interindustrial, en primer lugar, es decir, Argentina exporta materias primas y manufacturas de origen agropecuario e importa manufacturas de origen industrial de parte de Indonesia, en su mayoría, pero también con una característica que mencionó la embajadora Ninek, que es con un flujo comercial muy fuerte de parte de Argentina hacia Indonesia y no así a la inversa. Es decir, con una balanza comercial sostenidamente favorable para la Argentina en los últimos, por lo menos, 14 años. En la actualidad, la Argentina continúa teniendo este patrón de exportaciones, con un 59% de nuestras exportaciones que están ancladas solamente en peles de soja, un 25% en trigo y un 8% en maíz, lo que da un total aproximado al 90% de nuestras exportaciones solamente concentradas en 3 productos hacia Indonesia. por un total de 1.262 millones de dólares. 62.000 millones de dólares. Pero las importaciones equivalen a 232 millones de dólares. Acá se muestra claramente este perfil superavitario para Argentina en esta relación, lo que también repercute en que Indonesia sea un país de altísima jerarquía para la inserción económica internacional argentina. No quiere decir que solo lo sea en ese sentido, pero sí que se convierte en el eje, en el pilar de nuestra, al menos, aproximación hacia el país y hacia el sudeste de Asia en su conjunto. Todo este despegue también se dio durante el periodo desde el 2003 en adelante, muy de la mano de condiciones internacionales que favorecieron esta profundización, pero también desde la política externa, con un enfoque en una política exterior y de una política económica externa, que buscaba una diversificación de socios tradicionales, digamos, diversificar respecto de los socios tradicionales, disminuir el nivel de dependencia respecto de estos socios y economías centrales, y profundizar vínculos sur-sur a nivel global, donde Indonesia se convirtió en un socio de relevancia en este sentido, que también favoreció un acercamiento entre ambos países en diferentes foros multilaterales, como mencionaron antes que yo, el G20, la Organización Mundial de Comercio, el FOCALAE, como los principales espacios de construcción común y de fortalecimiento de las voces de estos dos países, también representando otras voces de países en vías de desarrollo, para tener algún impacto en las agendas de desarrollo de alcance global. Es decir, que Indonesia y Argentina también se encuentran en estos espacios multilaterales con, más allá de la fuerte articulación económica que hay entre los dos países y la articulación que esta profundidad económica tiene en la política exterior de la Argentina en relación con Indonesia, sino también en espacios donde comparten plataformas comunes a nivel global en diferentes temáticas, en diferentes issues, podríamos decir. Para resumir, algunas proyecciones que yo creo que, o proyecciones, perspectivas que creo que van en línea con lo que plantearon los anteriores expositores. Uno de ellos es claramente, viendo los números, es la diversificación de la agenda de la oferta exportable de Argentina a Indonesia, que igual es un tema de agenda que no solamente impacta la relación con Indonesia, sino que tiene que ver con una realidad, de alguna forma una dinámica de relación con diferentes países asiáticos y de otras regiones no tradicionales de la agenda argentina, pero esta sería una forma de fortalecer la estrategia de desarrollo interno también. Un segundo, quizás espacio de ampliación, es fortalecer los espacios de estudio mutuo, porque aunque nosotros llevamos a cabo estos seminarios, yo, entre otras tareas, dirijo un equipo de investigación que se enfoca en los estudios del sudeste asiático hace más de una década, y del cual han resultado numerosos artículos que analizan las relaciones bilaterales y multilaterales de Argentina, de América Latina con la región del sudeste asiático, y algunos de ellos enfocados particularmente en Indonesia. Sí es también una problemática que existen muy pocos espacios de investigación, de intercambio académico sostenidos con grupos, con integrantes que sostengan su permanencia en el tiempo y que permitan una construcción sistemática de conocimiento que pueda después volcarse a las diferentes áreas de las políticas públicas. Creo que esta es un desafío, quizás una tarea interesante para explorar, y que estos espacios de intercambio nos pueden permitir sentar los primeros vínculos para después acercar a equipos y académicos que puedan establecer o conformar estos grupos binacionales. Y el tercero y último, creo que desde Argentina, además de enfocar en la relación con determinados países asiáticos que claramente llaman una particular atención actual en la agenda de inserción, como por ejemplo China, crecientemente India, y que generan también esfuerzos de fortalecimiento de la relación bilateral, ¿no? Enfocando la visión en Asia, en China, por ejemplo, o en India. Es necesario, considero, fortalecer una visión holística del este de Asia desde la Argentina, que incorpore a los países del sudeste asiático junto a las mayores economías asiáticas en una estrategia amplia y abarcativa de inserción en el este asiático y no solo en países determinados de la región, dado que, como planteó el doctor Drajat antes que yo, esta región tiene una gravitación central en la economía actual y tendrá una mayor en los próximos años, y además se constituye en un mega espacio de integración económico del cual que se constituye en un espacio integral. Creo que la Argentina puede también afrontar mejor la inserción allí desde una visión holística de esta macro región. Esto, para ser sintética y breve, sería todo. Y gracias.
Muchas gracias a vos, Florencia. Entonces, bueno, resumiendo, el trabajo académico que han hecho tanto Ben como Florencia, es importante resaltar esta mirada holística que hablaba Florencia y a su vez Ben con estos niveles de multilaterales, ¿no? Tanto político, económico como socioculturales, y realizar un fortalecimiento en determinados vínculos que a nivel multilateral, no quedarse solo con un espacio, sino que ampliar la estrategia no solo a todos los niveles, sino también a toda la región asiática, y viendo también los números, es importante esto de la diversificación de la exportación. Sinceramente estamos muy contentos de haber aumentado más de un 1000% nuestras exportaciones desde el 2016 hasta ahora. Es algo muy valioso para nosotros, y también lo es en el marco de las exportaciones que han mencionado, ¿no? Tanto en agricultura y ganadería, como biotecnología, y los 17 productos que mencionó Gustavo con reconocimiento sanitario, que justamente la yerba mate también, que han mencionado, muy interesante, que se llevan a cabo a través de e-commerce. Ese es un punto muy importante también hoy a resaltar a nivel tecnológico y de intercambio. Así que estamos muy contentos con todos los resultados que ustedes nos han presentado. Por falta de tiempo voy a hacer solamente dos preguntas. Me olvidé de comentarles, lo dije en inglés pero no en castellano, que está en interpretación tanto en inglés y en español, por si ahora toca el turno de que hablen en inglés y algún argentino no puede pasar la interpretación aquí mismo en YouTube. La primera pregunta va a ser para la embajadora, Ninek. Ninek, you speak about, both countries, we are ready to negotiate comprehensive partnership, trade comprehensive partnership with Mercosur, and we'd like to know in which areas will we achieve.
Actually, let me highlight the development of the establishment of the comprehensive economic partnership between Indonesia and Mercosur. Well, there, since 2 years ago, we had a study meeting between Mercosur and Indonesia. We call it a scoping study to identify which area are to be included in the comprehensive economic partnership. In the first, it should be in the area of trade, goods, trading in goods, not in services yet. But we are more open to more issues that we're going to have a cooperation in this regard. And now the scoping paper between Indonesia and Mercosur has been exchanged several times, and already reached at the almost final stage. And we hope that before the year end this year, we are ready to announce, Indonesia and Mercosur, I believe, ready to announce that we are embarked in negotiation process. This is the development now in regard to the establishment of comprehensive economic partnership. But still we has yet to receive any confirmation for Mercosur. So this is the latest stages. Thank you.
Thank you. Bueno, la última pregunta sería para Gustavo. Hay dos cuestiones fundamentales que han consultado. La primera es si hay negociaciones para la certificación halal, para avanzar en exportaciones de carnes argentinas en el mercado. Y la segunda es si hay alguna manera en que los importadores puedan tener una previsibilidad frente a las nuevas medidas y para tener una ayuda con la exportación de artesanías. Tal vez Gustavo nos pueda ayudar a clarificar este tema.
A ver, el tema halal no es solo un tema que tiene que ver con productos alimenticios. Halal, como lo explican acá, es el mundo. Cosméticas es halal, repuestos de automóviles o repuestos en general es halal, o sea, no necesariamente es algo alimenticio. Nosotros, obviamente, como nuestras exportaciones están orientadas a materias primas y industria agroalimentaria, estamos enfocados hacia eso. Pero el memorándum que se negoció a lo largo de este año y que está listo, falta el ok del Ministerio de Asuntos Religiosos indonesio, y que es lo que estamos viendo, a ver si podemos finalmente firmarlo la semana que viene en el transcurso del tercer foro de negocios INALAC, que sería fantástico. Así que no hace falta negociación, la negociación está concluida, hace falta ahora firmarlo. ¿Ok? Entonces, en base a eso, se va a liberar o se va a facilitar todo lo que sean certificaciones entre los dos países, para todo producto, no necesariamente para la carne. El tema de la carne está un poco más complicado, el ingreso de carnes, porque el impulso que venía muy acelerado, venía muy bien, se frenó con el tema de la pandemia el año pasado. Faltaban que viniesen del Ministerio de Agricultura aspectos sanitarios in situ en Argentina y no se pudo llevar a cabo. O sea, falta primero la certificación sanitaria por parte de Indonesia en nuestro país, de los frigoríficos ya autorizados y que ya están aceptados, que son 7, y después el proceso halal, que se simplificará, sin duda, una vez que tengamos la firma, esperemos, la semana entrante. ¿La otra pregunta cuál era?
La otra pregunta era si podrían los importadores tener previsibilidad frente a las nuevas medidas, esto es la pandemia que habías hablado, y alguna ayuda con la exportación de artesanías, específicamente, consultaban.
A ver, el sistema en Indonesia no es de lo más sencillo, tiene sus complicaciones, con lo cual las importaciones tienen que estar de la mano y con un grupo de importadores. Nosotros lo que estamos haciendo en la embajada es justamente tratar de unir nuestros exportadores determinados de cualquier producto con la contraparte de Indonesia para que faciliten el ingreso a través de las distintas regulaciones, porque tienen muchísimas regulaciones, si bien este año firmaron la ley ómnibus de empleo, donde se achican enormemente todo el tema regulatorio de ingreso de exportaciones y también en tema, ¿cómo se dice? Inversiones. Pero nosotros o ustedes, por favor, den nuestro email para explicarles en detalle a todos los interesados que nos escriban. Nosotros contestamos absolutamente todo, porque estamos justamente para eso. Estamos al servicio de ellos, porque si ellos ganan, gana Argentina y ganamos todos. Entonces, cuenten con la Embajada Argentina, encantados de recibirlos, contestamos absolutamente todas las inquietudes. Se lo paso, es eicia@mrsic.gov.ar. Ustedes lo tienen, si son tan amables y se lo hacen llegar a toda la audiencia, estamos encantados y más que felices de poder colaborar con cualquiera, con todos.
Perfecto, Gustavo, lo pondremos en la minuta que va a girar mañana con un breve resumen de lo que hablamos. Agradecerles a ustedes por el tiempo. La verdad que, bueno, hemos comentado muchas cuestiones más bien económicas y comerciales que son de suma importancia en este contexto pandémico que estamos enfrentando. No queremos igualmente dejar de mencionar distintos acuerdos en cooperación tanto económica, comercio, agricultura, cooperación nuclear que tenemos, y también el especial interés que hay de fortalecer los vínculos también en temas de turismo y en el campo deportivo, especialmente en el fútbol, que han realizado vínculos con respecto a ese tema, tanto a nivel diplomático nacional como a nivel parlamentario. Así que, bueno, son cuestiones, como hemos hablado, multiniveles que tanto nos interesan en las relaciones bilaterales de ambos países. Por ello, celebramos con gran entusiasmo estos encuentros y esperamos continuar estableciendo lazos, tanto con el think tank, agradezco especialmente a Perkasa Drajat, como think tank argentino hacia Indonesia, y a nivel diplomático, sumamente agradecidas con ambas embajadas. Nos volveremos a encontrar en otra oportunidad. Muchísimas gracias tanto a Ninek como a Gustavo, y fue un gusto poder escucharlos. Hasta luego y que tengan excelente jornada.